Kiwi Quarters is the first question and says, given that many of us don't have caves, I totally understand that, I have an issue with making, that being I have no place to keep the stuff once it's made. It seems you never throw an object away, a project away, but do you have advice in this regard for us mere mortals? You know, this is a really tough one. I totally grant you that it is a tough one. I'm not sure I have a specific strategy. I can tell you that within storage, within the philosophy of storage, there is always more room on the z-axis. If you're paying attention, you can always go up. But I don't know the size of the objects that you make. There are times when I've had objects that I couldn't store that I've given away. That is absolutely a thing. At the very least, every project you complete, you should get some really good photographs of it. That is something that I was born and raised to do. My father was a painter, and he had a great technique for making slides of his paintings. He would take 5 shots of every painting and have them developed as Kodachrome slides, and then he'd have 5 different slide sheets of the new batch of paintings. And I followed that from the earliest time when I was living in Brooklyn and making sculptures. And then once I moved to San Francisco, I had a loft and I bought some seamless paper. And about once a year, I would line up my objects and take really good photos of them. And having really good photos of the stuff, even the stuff that's been lost, is frankly for me almost as good as having the thing. It is really, so I have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pictures of stuff I built back to the age of 16, 17 years old. There is, you know, every now and then I talk to a place like, Blick's Art Supply or Art Bin or Sortimo, and I feel like there's a Kitchen Nightmares type of show for me to do where I go to people's houses and help them like refine the organizational structure of their tiny makerspace, whether it's a bedroom closet or a tiny room in the basement. I think it would be a really fun show to do. I don't know if I'm going to do that show, but like, there is no specific answer. We all have to come up with our own answers. And, you know, frankly, I think this is a culture right now where everyone's got a storage space. But it's tough to just store stuff. Yeah, we're talking about, someone else has a question about this later. Hold on. It's about holding on to things. Look, I have this massive cave full of stuff, and I'm the only one who knows what it all is. I'm the only one that knows that that thing is a replica and that thing is the real thing from the movie. One of the plans I have this year, and I'm hiring an intern for the month of June, is to just start archiving stuff and really like refining and taking pictures of all the important stuff and then writing out what it is. I did this recently in my home office. I sat there for 3 hours and I looked at every single object and I typed out what that object was and where it came from. Because really, you know, I want 40 or 50 more years on this planet. But you know, I could go tomorrow. And if I do, my family has a nightmare of a task in front of them figuring out what all this crap really is. And I really recognize that as a responsibility of mine, to take care of. So look, my primary thing, Kiwi Quarters, is archive everything in terms of what you built, when you built it, what it means to you. That is all stuff you're going to want to read about later. That is stuff that future you will be really happy that present you did. And then, yeah, you know, donation, giving stuff to people to hang in their place. There is, I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but every now and then someone will come in and they'll see an object in this and they'll be so excited about it that I'll just want them to take it with them. Because if they're more excited about the object than I am, then they should be its steward for the time being. I don't mean that if you come and visit the cave, you should be pointing and asking if you can have stuff. It is more of a catch as catch can sort of arrangement. But yeah, giving stuff away is a lovely, lovely practice. And it is Also really lovely to visit friends that have pieces of yours that they want to put up in their house. That is a lovely grace. Oh, right. The very next question, Micah Barnes. Do you ever feel stress or anxiety when finding a place for a piece of your collection to live in? I believe, yeah, I have already answered that. What is your, Trenton Clayton asks, what is your favorite puppet in film history? You know, I don't really have to think about it. It is the weirdest puppet in film history, and it's the baby from Eraserhead. If you haven't seen I got to interview David Lynch on stage a couple of years ago, and David Lynch is a remarkable part of our culture. He's so influential and he's so unique as a mind, as a creator. I have rarely interviewed someone, except say for maybe John Cleese, who was more present and in the room right there. Nothing else mattered but what we were talking about. And I still didn't get a chance to ask Lynch about the baby from Eraserhead. He's famously not talked about how the prop worked. It is so surreal. I find it upsetting just to think about what that baby looks like because it is so surreal. It is hard for me to imagine how it works because it feels like such a weird alien thing. And that's pretty much the point of Eraserhead, is that that baby feels like an alien, upsetting thing. Achievement unlocked. That is without a doubt the most amazing puppet. A close second is the full-size Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors, which was famously, and we covered this on with the Corridor crew recently, famously shot at half speed. That made it possible. That doesn't necessarily make it easier for that incredible team of puppeteers to activate, but it made it possible. Some of the greatest ensemble work that's ever been done, ever been laid to film. And then my third is all the Muppets. All the Muppets. I mean, kindness. The kindness of the Muppets shines through for the whole, 60 plus years of their incredible history. Is it almost 60 years? It's almost 60 years. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support us even further, you can by becoming a tested member. Details are, of course, below, but it includes all sorts of perks, and we're building them all the time. You get advanced word and behind-the-scenes photos of some of our projects. Questions, you get to ask direct questions during my live streams, and we have some members-only videos, including the Adam real-time series of unbroken, unedited shots of me working here in the shop. They are weirdly meditative. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one.